You know what, Stanley, you're right. The time for talking is over. We need action. I'm gonna march down to that fake news studio myself and get Timmy back. Oh, well, thank you. You know, I think that's probably the nicest thing you've ever said to me. Maybe this infatuation you have with love is a good thing after all. Well, I will, keep that in mind. Anyway, while I'm gone, we have a spooky visitor hosting the show. He's awake for the first time in a year, but I'm gonna leave now before he gets here. Well, long story short, the conglomeration of crows created him a long time ago. As a way to sort of overcome our fear, we only really fear one thing, all of us, all the crows, and he is the embodiment of that thing. Yeah, I suppose you could say that. What? No, of course not. That's silly. Well, anyway, see you later, Stanley. Happy Halloween!
Live from the Octavian Cellar, it's the award-winning DC News. With disbanded Crow, Stanley, weather, and no one on sports. Brought to you by the Storm Masters. We bring them to you now, live.
Good evening and happy Halloween. It is I, the Scarecrow. I am positively thrilled to be here on the Octavian server during such a spooky time. In my mind, there is nothing better than the spooky festivities that arise during Halloween. Here on the server, we've got people dressing up in costumes. As you can see from this footage, Taylor Crow has given Mindgrinder and Different Love some absolutely spooky costumes. On top of this, we've also got ghosts popping up all over the place. Truly an absolutely beautiful sight. And let's talk about this city. From watching previous broadcasts, I can tell that reporter Crow doesn't talk too much about the city that is being built around his studio. But from what I understand, this place has seen some expansive growth recently. Other Crow clones are beginning to inhabit it. Bebot Crow got his own park, featuring a tree styled after the Fire Nation, and statues styled after the Storm Masters. How beautifully cultural. Pirate Crow has his own flying ship over the city. And if you think the ship looks familiar, well, he is a pirate after all. Taylor Crow has also gotten his own home here, but he's really never around, so who knows if he'll ever actually visit it. And of course, we have my home that I've built here, and this is where I'm broadcasting to you. Aside from Crow homes, the city has also received a post office. And here you can leave the DC News a letter for either fan mail or to provide news tips. Plus, a hospital. So if you get injured this Halloween season, we have a place for that. Overall, this place is starting to turn out well, and perhaps all Crow clones will find happiness here. Now let's get into the news, shall we? In the last broadcast, reporter Crow mentioned that a couple of prisoners of war managed to get freed by some herbalist activists, killing some Stormmaster guards in the process. In response to their death, the Stormmasters have demanded from the herbalists a myriad of items. I will put the full list on the screen now, but it is mostly just a bunch of items that will be annoying to get. Mr. Celio Kills explained that getting these items will simulate the pain that the guards' death have brought upon their families. The ducks were eventually found and recaptured by the Stormmasters, though one of them did end up getting beheaded during the encounter. The Archmage of the Stormmasters has explained that the surviving ducks will be brought back to Storm's End for a trial to decide their fate. Sir Duck went rogue for a brief moment in between these events and attempted to fuel the flames of war with the Stormmasters again, but was stopped by his Archmage, Kavagram. Even so, the Stormmasters responded by blocking off the herbalist hallways with obsidian and implementing a lava trap. No herbalists were harmed. And that's about all I have for the news. Before we move to Stanley, let's hear a word from our sponsor. Oh, well, I suppose we need a new Crow clone for the sponsor segment. The Stormmasters have created a brand new inn, which is located along the road to Storm's End. It's an absolutely beautiful place, very homey. You'll most likely never get a better night's sleep anywhere. Slumber Crow has even left a 5-star review. It is Halloween after all, so I was asked to create a spooky location in the server event area at this world's spawn point. Well, I suppose that's all I have to report this episode. Oh? Why, I do believe that sound means that the post office has received a new letter. Let me just mosey on down to the post office and see what's there. Oh well, this isn't good. Hi there, Bebot. You got a message for me? Nothing in your barrel, so you must have dropped it off. Let's see here. Cease and desist. Your one true archmage has been made aware of your existence. Your pro-resistance propaganda must end. Your DC news is confusing the people. And so I, Herbapot, demand you cease and desist with your fake news. A bot will be waiting to receive your letter of compliance to this just and rightful demand. Signed, Grand Archmage Herbapot. Well, I suppose it's lucky then that Reporter Crow is on his way directly to their studio now. These two must have missed each other on the road. I would help him out, but I've never exactly been welcome amongst my brothers.